Did you know that there is a large connection between the New Age movement, the occult, UFOs, and Christianity? We are going to look at those connections right now. Let's check it out. I am Dr. Huffling, and welcome to Classical Theology. So I have a bunch of videos on UFOs. If you want to learn more about just the general nature of those, check those out. But we are going to look at the connections between the UFOs and the New Age slash occult and how that relates to Christianity. There's a wide history of UFOs, but it really started in the U.S. in the 40s, and we see the rise really of the New Age connection and occultic type things as well in the 50s, especially the 60s, probably some as well in the 40s. But pretty much the point is that those connections were there from the beginning. I've referenced this work before, but this is an annotated bibliography that was published in 1969, right at the end of Project Blue Book. It's called UFOs and Related Subjects, an Annotated Bibliography by Lynn Cateau. And this talks about just that. There's a lot of sources on UFOs and different theories and sightings and things from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And she says this: a large part of the available UFO literature is closely linked with mysticism and the metaphysical. It deals with subjects like mental telepathy, automatic writing, and invisible entities, as well as phenomena like poltergeist manifestations and possession. Those are all going to be very, very similar or identical with the New Age movement and the occult. So when we see the rise of UFOs being seen in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, we also start to see the rise of abductees and contactees. Abductees are those who were supposedly taken captive by the occupants of UFOs. They are abducted, they're taken. Contactees are people who are simply in contact. They may or may not be abducted, they just may be in contact with the quote-unquote beings that are supposed to be connected with the UFOs. Some claim that they can actually call on the UFOs and have them show up or manifest, but they typically are supposed to be chosen people, well, the contactees, who the UFO occupants have chosen to spread their message and to enlighten the world. Okay, some of the most popular abductees would be Betty and Barney Hill, who were supposedly abducted in the 60s, Travis Walton, 1975, Whitley Strieber in the mid-1980s. Then we have a lot of the contactees. George Adamski is one of the most famous people who are supposedly were in contact with UFOs. But there's a large connection here between. So what exactly is the New Age? It is not easy to define the New Age. It's not really a monolithic type movement, but there are typical characteristics with the New Age movement. And if you want a resource, because I'm all about empowering you to have resources, here's one good book. It's called UFOs in the New Age, Extraterrestrial Messages and the Truth of Scripture by William M. Alnor. And I'll leave a link to these in the description. A Crash Course on the New Age Movement, Describing and Evaluating a Growing Social Force by Elliot Miller. UFOs and the New Age discuss the connection, whereas the Crash Course just talks about the nature of the New Age. Another good book is Ron Rhodes' book, UFOs, The Truth About UFOs and Aliens, A Christian Assessment. But in general, the New Age movement have certain marks or characteristics, such as spiritual enlightenment, a higher consciousness. There's a large emphasis on a holistic worldview, of things being interconnected, personal spiritual development through such things as meditation and yoga and all sorts of things, channeling, belief in spiritual issues and the paranormal. We see this through activities like astrology, psychic phenomena, spirit guides, and those kind of things. But it's very eclectic. It's not a very monolithic type movement. It's very eclectic. If you ask 10 different people, you may get different, you're going to get different answers as to what it is. But it is a spiritual kind of attempt at becoming enlightened and achieving a higher consciousness. Okay. And what's dangerous about it is that there's a lot of the New Age that sounds like it should fit in a general spirituality, like in Christianity. So that's why I wanted to highlight this. One, there's this fascination with UFOs, and there's this connection with UFOs as well with the New Age and the occult. So how does the New Age movement relate to UFOs? Well, when we see the UFOs show up more than, or how they're supposed to have shown up in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they have been around, actually cited for hundreds of years. If you read other works like Jacques Vallée's and Chris Albeck's The Wonders in the Sky and other books as well, there have been reports of UFOs going back to ancient times. But a lot of people think that it started in the 40s when we started blowing up atomic weapons. Or using atomic bombs and that sort of thing. And these aliens or whatever were supposed to come and shield us from ourselves, protect us from ourselves. So they get these beings who were supposedly coming to save us, and they take on this this role very like a savior. They take on these salvific roles where they come to really save us from ourselves. And so they take people and they contact people like George Adamski and others and try to sell them this message that they are really there to enlighten them, to bring them to a higher consciousness, okay, of enlightenment. So we see this coming through UFOs, what's considered spirit brothers, or people, beings that are from out there in some regard coming to help us. So they want to increase they want to give us a higher consciousness. They want to impose a higher, they want to teach a universal salvation. While we're going to look at this later, certain religions like Christianity teach an exclusive view of salvation that you have to go through Jesus Christ. These beings that people were like George Adamski were being contacted by were actually teaching that there is a universal type of salvation. You didn't have to go through any certain religion, but there was this higher consciousness, and through doing various things and following their instructions, you could achieve that enlightenment, that higher consciousness, and universal salvation. Well, out of all these contactees and what they were doing, they started these different movements and organizations that are typically referred to as UFO cults. And there are many. I'm not going to go over all of them. Here are a few, namely the Unarius Academy of Science, the Raelian Movement, the Aetherius Society, Heaven's Gate, and I'm going to throw in Stephen Greer. He's not a cult, obviously, just a person, but he's very influential in that he teaches through his documentaries things like Eastern practices of meditation, that we're all, as we've said before, interconnected through energy, things that are very similar in Buddhism and these Eastern religions that make their way to the U.S. or around the world as well through the New Age movement and just these Eastern teachings. There's a lot of emphasis on Eastern type practices in the New Age movement. These, again, like meditation and so forth. So Greer is pretty popular, especially in the UFO world. And so he's imbibing these Eastern mystical kind of New Age views into the UFO groups. And some people, unbeknownst to them, they don't realize they're getting fed these New Age or Eastern views, but that's exactly what it is. So then how does the New Age movement relate to Christianity? Well, we've already mentioned some of these. One would be a universal view of salvation. So we don't need Jesus for salvation. It's not exclusive, but anyone can attain salvation through higher consciousness, through certain practices, through talking to spirit guides, by doing various things to improve our own selves. So it's kind of these beings are seen to be saviors in a way, and they're also trying to teach us how to save ourselves. They also teach, this is a pretty ubiquitous view, that means it's pretty much everywhere in these New Age teachings and UFO teachings, is that Jesus is not divine. He's not really God, but he is either just a normal person who was enlightened, or he was an alien, or he was one of these beings as well. But typically, he's not, well, not typically, he's never seen as divine in these UFO kind of New Age groups. And these UFO aliens, again, are seen to be saviors. And one interesting thing as well is that there are views in these UFO groups that there's going to be a mass abduction. Okay, and this is, it sounds a lot like what Christians talk about regarding the rapture. And so some Christians will argue that there will be a mass delusion when the rapture happens, that it wasn't really Jesus taking his church and taking his people from the earth, but rather it was these aliens or spirit beings or whatever these different groups think that these beings are, and that they're being abducted, that they're being taken to another planet, to another dimension. There's no monolithic or universal view of this. There's just different views, but some think they're being taken to another planet, different dimensions or whatever, but they're going to be enlightened, and they're going to start and keep progressing humanity. So a lot of these groups think that they are involved in human evolution, that these beings, alien, spirit, God, whatever, are part of guiding human evolution. And so we just need to be aware that there's this teaching that's connected with UFOs. And one of the aspects of all this that got me interested years ago in this topic is what non-Christians are saying, like with Jacques Vallée, for example, who says this: I propose that there is a spiritual control system for human consciousness, and that paranormal phenomena like UFOs are one of its manifestations. So I think there could be a good argument that Satan and his kingdom of darkness is using UFOs and the New Age movement to cause mass deception and to restructure what people believe, to change their control system, what they believe. It's just interesting that these non-Christians like Jacques Vallée, like John Keel, who says you really shouldn't be dabbling with UFOs and these sorts of things because they prey on the gullible, they prey on people who are easily taken in, and it's really important for parents not to let their children dabble in this. So as a church, we need to be aware of these things. We need to be aware of what the New Age movement is, how it ties into UFOs, these different kind of UFO cults, and just understand how all these things are connected. Because the first way we can address these issues, we have to be aware of them first. So once we're aware, then we can start to address what these teachings are. For example, we can argue and demonstrate that Jesus is divine, that these beings are deceitful, they're deceiving, and that they are, as Vallée, again, a non-Christian says, trying to control our thoughts. So we need to be aware of these things. We need to read these books that Vallée is writing, and that Miller and Ron Rhodes and all these guys, William Allen are writing, and be aware of what's going on. There's a huge surge in interest in UFOs today. And the New Age movement also is very popular, and it comes across as very benign, and it makes you think, well, there's nothing wrong with this, I can do this. But that we don't realize that sometimes we're just taking one more step closer to being engulfed in that kind of thinking. We wouldn't think that maybe if we're just watching a documentary by Stephen Greer that we're being fed New Age type beliefs. So be aware, be knowledgeable about what is going on with these different groups and the different teachings, and be able to defend your views and Christianity. That's what this channel is all about, trying to defend and articulate classical theology to help you understand what theology is all about, and to be able to defend it. So I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.